Hello families, I am Elise Kopp.
And I'm Anna Maria McBrayer, and we teach first grade at Carrillo Elementary. We are a proud part of San Marcos Unified School District, where we believe that all students are capable of achieving at high levels. This is our San Marcos Unified Collective Efficacy approach. Here is some information to help your students succeed in first grade in reading and writing.
First grade is a unique grade where developmental growth is as abundant as academic. Students learn at different paces and with different approaches. We love teaching reading and enjoy watching students' minds grow through reading and understanding of what they've read. We feel strongly that success is possible when all parts of the team work together. We let our students know that they are the most important part of the team, but that their teachers and families are also on board. Our goal is nurturing a happy, healthy, and successful student. When parents and teachers work together, they can help them be successful for the rest of their school career.
How are they learning to read? We would like to share some of the information and tips to help your students succeed in first grade literacy. First of all California public schools teach what we call Common Core content standards. The most essential standards your first grader will learn in English language arts this year are the following. Reading grade level text with purpose and understanding. That explains that students read text independently with appropriate reading fluency, which includes speed, rate, and expression. Students read literature and must identify the purpose of reading and understands the text by asking and answering questions, retelling the story, identifying the characters, setting, and key details. Also, understanding the central message or lesson in a story or poem. The standard encourages them to use illustrations and details in stories to describe its characters, settings, or events. Students will also read informational texts and demonstrate an understanding of the text through answering and asking questions, identifying key details and main topics, and retelling key details. We also focus on comparing the connection between two components of information in a text. Lastly, there is a phonics component that includes spelling, vowels, and vowel patterns.
In reading, there are many levels of reading for first grade. Some of them are still learning sounds and need to see them and manipulate them in order to blend them and sound them out, as many of us remember from our own school experience. We use spelling patterns like word families to help them see patterns like rat, cat, splat. At the same time, students are learning sight words that they memorize and hopefully know as fast as a snap so they can read them just as quickly. The next stage is emergent reading, where students have mastered blending or sounding out, and they're able to read more than one word at a time and start comprehending what they've read. The last stage we see in first grade is fluent reading, where students have mastered more than 200 sight words and are reading in phrases. In this stage, they are asking and answering questions, and their focus is comprehension, reading in a fluid-like manner or reading with expression to understand character dialogue. At all levels, students are expected to retell stories, identify characters and setting, and answer questions.
How are they learning to write? The three genres of writing are narrative, informative, explanatory, and opinion. Parents are not expected to introduce these genres or teach them at home. We want families to be familiar with the content they will be exposed to and will learn at school. With guidance and support from teachers, we teach students how to gather information with facts for informative writing. We teach them to support ideas with opinions. Finally, then writing a chronological sequence for narrative with two or more events, including some details in temporal words like first, next, and last. In all three genres, students are also expected to use proper handwriting, conventional spelling for words, correct grammar, and include ending punctuation.
You are part of an important team. Of course, there are basic ways that you can set up your child for success, like making sure they stay healthy, get enough sleep, and eating a healthy breakfast before school. You can also make attendance a priority so that make sure your child is on time, ready to learn every day, unless of course they're sick.
No matter what reading level your child begins or ends first grade on, the most important way you can help is by reading to or with your child every day for at least 15 minutes. We suggest that they choose the books so they will include high interest stories such as sports, princess picture books, mystery chapter books, or science books about dinosaurs or volcanoes. Books that they are excited to sit down and read.
This isolated reading time trains their brain to focus. There's a wonderful analogy from Psychology Today that says reading is like scuba diving. When you're submerged in the water and it's quiet and you can slowly focus on one thing at a time. Kids need this kind of quiet focus without TV or distraction in order to develop their brain, to hold attention, concentrate, and then be able to discuss. As readers, we stop and ask questions while we read. We come across unknown words. We discuss characters, favorites and not. We address and share new facts or information learned. These questions and answers will become the discussions that will help them develop strong, independent reading skills. When a family member or adult reads to a child, it's a valuable academic and bonding experience. They can also read to you. We encourage kids to read out loud at their level so we can guide them through difficult sight words or vocabulary words, or encourage them to stop for clarification and ask questions. This may be tiring for some kids. That's why a balance of being read to and reading will help their brain work at its optimal level.
Every class is a bit different, but all of our schools have amazing libraries, and our community libraries are wonderful places to visit and borrow books. Checking out books in various levels of difficulty will motivate them to continue reading and learn more. A library card is free, and librarians are wonderful resources to ask for book recommendations and helping your child find a book at their own reading level. You can create a culture of reading in your home. The way to do that is to sit and read independently, whether for entertainment or relaxation value. Children who see that reading is a priority and a habit that their family enjoys wind up making reading a priority themselves and develop a lifelong love of reading. It is so powerful for students to see their parents sitting and reading a book or hearing their parents discuss an article they just read.
We also encourage storytelling. Most cultures embrace storytelling as a way to communicate and teach the young, and it's a great opportunity to model the proper ways, including a sequence of events, details, and describing adjectives. It also lends itself for modeling proper enunciation when speaking and clearly stating each word so they can hear the proper use of language. As an example of retelling a sequence of a family trip out loud with some details of what they saw, what they did. We went to a beautiful lake with cold water. It was filled with rippling waves. After telling a story, they can choose if they'd like to put those words to paper with details. We call them authors and explain that famous authors like Dr. Seuss once had ideas and stories just like they did.
In addition to reading, our district provides many tools and resources to assist our students. In the classroom, our district uses the Benchmark program. It includes a diverse array of reading materials in magazines, books, and online resources. The reading connects to the big inquiry-based themes we are studying in class. We also use an individualized reading program online called Lexia. If you have the internet, your child can log on and work on Lexia lessons at home. You may want to look over his or her shoulders occasionally and ask about what they're learning. Most classes also have other sites and resources they can recommend if you check in with your child's teacher. That brings up another important point. Good teams need to communicate well with each other. You can do your part by reading the notices that come home and discussing the day's events with your child. Make time to meet with, call, or email the teacher to check in and ask how you can support your child at home. This will open the door for communication and will show your child that you are part of the team and that you value their education. Try to attend classroom and school-wide events and become part of the school community.
Every child can be successful, but it's a combined effort of the teacher, the family, and the child to make that happen. It's a matter of setting high expectations and taking risks and then accepting challenges, then accepting that sometimes those risks fail and then embracing it as an opportunity to learn. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he created the light, but according to him, he didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was invented with 1,000 steps. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about how your child learns. We hope it was beneficial.